Happy Friday, friends. Here's our story today. This is titled Leaf Trouble by Jonathan Emmett, illustrated by Caroline Jane Church. I want to go over the parts of a book. What is this part called? Yes, that's the front cover. What about this part? Yeah, that's the spine. And back here, you got it, the back cover. And what is this? The title, yes. And the author, Jonathan Emmett, what does the author do again? Yeah, you're right. They write the story, the words. And then illustrated by Caroline Jane Church. What does the illustrator do? You're correct. They do the illustrations, the pictures. Leaf trouble. And we see that squirrel. And these are called oak leaves. Those are oak leaves falling. Leaf Trouble by Jonathan Emmett, illustrated by Caroline Jane Church. And this is called the title page. A fresh breeze blew across the woodlands, tickling the tall grass and trembling the trees. Summer had left and autumn had arrived. Pip Squirrel stuck his head out of the nest and sniffed the air. Something's changed, he decided, and he scampered off to find out what it was. So Pip Squirrel, that's our character's name. Pip's nest was in an old oak tree. Pip loved the old tree, and he knew every bit of it from twig to trunk. But something was happening to the tree. It was happening so slowly that Pip hadn't noticed it until now. He skittered to a stop and stared at the leaves beside him. He was so surprised that he let go of the trunk. Wah! Squealed Pip as he tumbled down through the branches and landed, oof, on the woodland floor. Oof! Look, poor little Pip. He landed flat on his back. Pip lay there for a moment, staring up at the leaves. They've changed color, he gasped. And he was right. The last time Pip had looked closely at the leaves, they had all been green. But now there were lots of colors, yellow and orange and even red. As Pip watched, one of the leaves dropped off and drifted down toward the ground. He jumped up and ran after it and caught it in his paws. But even as he reached it, another leaf began to fall. Pip ran after the second leaf and just managed to catch it before it touched the woodland floor. Not again, gasped Pip as a third leaf began to fall. Pip was still racing around trying to catch the falling leaves when his sister Blossom scurried up. Good, panted Pip, you're just in time. Just in time for what? Asked Blossom. To help save the tree, puffed Pip. It's falling to pieces. But that's been happening for days, said Blossom, pointing to the leaf-covered ground. Then we've got to stop it now, insisted Pip. Pip and Blossom collected all the fallen leaves into a big pile. Now what? Asked Blossom. We put them back, said Pip. So Blossom carried the leaves up into the tree, where Pip tried to stick them back onto the branches. But it didn't work very well. Can you stick leaves back onto the tree? Will they reattach and grow? No, that's not going to work, Pip. Then, all of a sudden, there was a huge gust of wind and hundreds of leaves began to fall. Pip and Blossom were scrambling around frantically, trying to gather them when Mom Squirrel arrived. What are you two up to? She asked. When Mom found out what Pip and Blossom had been doing, she couldn't help smiling. But Pip, she said, the tree has to lose its leaves. And she explained that taking care of the leaves was hard work for the tree, and that after keeping them all summer, it needed to rest for a while. So the tree's gonna rest. It's getting rid of its leaves so it can just rest. But I love this tree, said Pip sadly. It's our home, and I want it back the way it was. It will be, said Mom. When spring comes, the leaves will all come back again. They've only gone away for a while. Like when the sun sets and then comes back again? Said Pip. Like when the sun sets, agreed Mom. Except the leaves will take just a little longer to come back. Pip, Blossom, and Mom played beneath the old oak tree until sunset. Before they left, they collected some leaves to take back to their nest. Beautiful oak leaves. They're such beautiful colors, said Pip, smiling, and now I understand why. He held up a pawful of leaves to show Blossom and Mom. They're the colors of the sunset, said Pip. They kind of are. If you've ever watched the sunset, you'll see lots of orange and yellow, sometimes red. And that's the end of our story. So my question to you is, what changes does a tree go through during the fall or autumn season? What changes does it go through? And this tree was an oak tree. An oak tree is called a deciduous tree. Deciduous means that they do lose their leaves. Evergreen trees, kind of like pine trees and Christmas trees, they are evergreen because they don't lose their leaves. But oak trees are deciduous. So I want you to tell me, what changes did the oak tree go through in this story? Can't wait to hear what you say. Have a good Friday, friends.